Of course, there's like thousands of different flows out there, but this is one in particular. So what we'll do is it's a warrior one to a standing split to a yoga squat, and then we're going to try some crow. So, and I will go through this several times. So the first time I go through, I'm just going to show you how it would look without any modification. And then as we go, I'll put in some modifications. We can use blocks or straps, whatever you like. So here we go. All right, so we start in a standing position. Our feet are about 1 to 2 fists apart. So it's about that far apart. We're going to breathe in, breathing in through our nose and out through our nose. We're going to bring our arms up into the air. If you can, look up at your hands. That's fabulous. And we're going to swan dive down to the ground. We're going to come into a forward fold. Knees bent is always an option so that you can touch the ground. Okay? So if if you're flexible, fantastic. If you're not, that's okay too. Okay, so from forward fold, we're going to come to a half lift. Some people still, keep their hands, their fingertips on the floor, but I don't know how much of a straight back you can get. If you're super duper flexible, awesome. But I sort of put my hands on my shins so that my back is flat. All right, and you just sort of want to look out, like say to the top of your mat. Okay, so you're here. Then bend your knees, bring your hands down to the ground. We're going to step back. I ran right into my wall. Step back into a plank. Okay, so here I am. I'm holding in my abs. And then, sometimes you have your plank here. You sort of want to really push yourself forward so that your shoulders are over your wrists. Okay, you can bend your knees. Lower down. We're going to come up. You can do a cobra or upward facing dog. You're going to tuck your toes. Come back to downward facing dog. Usually give yourself about 3 breaths here. Now we're going to bring our right foot forward. If you need to help it with your arm, go right ahead. Flatten the back foot. We're coming up into warrior one. Okay, with warrior one, always turning your hips. So a lot of times you come up like this and your hips are, out. You really want to try to even physically turn your hips so that they're forward. So from warrior one, you're going to come off the back leg. So you're going to come down, frame your foot, and then, you can use your back leg as some leverage. So you're going to come up into a standing split. You want to, the goal is to try to get your nose to your knee. Do the best you can. So from standing split, you're going to land your left foot nice and wide. So both feet, my toes are pointed out. And you're going to come down into a yogi squat. Big thing with this, you want both feet flat on the floor. You don't want to be up on your toes. You want to be flat. So however wide you need to do that is great. If you're up here, that's fine. Try to get down as low as possible and try to have your body upright. So your crown, the crown of your head is pointing up at the ceiling. Okay, from here, hands come down. So see, my elbows don't leave my knees. Okay, widen your hands and you're going to start to lean forward. Okay, at this point you can bring your feet in, and I usually make sure that my knees go a little further up on my triceps. Okay, and then you're just try it. So you're going to roll forward. If this is where you're at today, that's okay. Try to lift a toe. Maybe lift your other one. And then you're going to have liftoff. Okay? So from crow, you try it 2 or 3 times. You know, some people have the ab strength to, like, you know, then push back. You know, you just kick your legs back. God bless. I think that's awesome. My abs are not quite that strong. So we come back to a plank. You can run through your chaturanga again. Tuck your toes, come back. And of course you do it on the other side as well. So this time I'll go a little faster. All right, left leg comes up. I like to have my leg up before I kick it through because it sort of gives me a little leverage. So here we are, 3-legged dog. Kick it through to your hands, flatten the back foot, coming up into warrior one. Once again, make sure my hips are positioned correctly. Warrior one. Come down, frame your foot. Use the back leg as leverage. Standing split. Land wide. Come down. Yoga squat. Hands come down. Reposition your feet. Maybe get your knees a little higher up on your triceps. And we're doing a crow. Ooh. And then you can jump back. Back into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. From here, walk your feet to your hands. Reverse swan dive up. Hands come to heart center. Ta-da! So, let's do it now with some modification. Okay, we're going to try with a block. We can even use 2 blocks. It's a special day. All right, so I'm going to face this way, just for the hell of it. Okay, so we're going to put our blocks in front. And that'll help us with our standing split, okay? So, start breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Hands come up, overhead. Swan dive down. Make it as pretty as you want. I always wanted to be a ballerina. And this is my one shot at being graceful. So here it is. Make it beautiful. So we're here. Swan dive down. We're in a forward fold. If this is tight on your hamstrings, bend your knees. Forward fold. Sliding your hands up to your shins, flat back. And just looking up a little bit. You don't have to look up at the wall, because that kind of kinks your neck. So just, you know, head ahead, your gaze is ahead. So we're here in flat back, bend your knees. Hands come to the ground, step back, step back into plank, and then we go down to chaturanga. Ooh, now, took me a long time just to learn that. Okay, so here we are. If you move forward, so here I am in plank, push your toes forward. Do the knees down. It's all good. Then lower yourself down in between your hands, pushing up to upward facing dog or cobra. Tuck your toes. Come back to downward facing dog. From here, all right, so say you're in a wide stance. This is what I do. I usually bring my left foot like in the center, and my right foot comes up. This gives me a little bit more balance, more control. So, right foot is up. Bring it through to your hands. Flatten the back foot. If you want to walk up your leg, that's good. Bring your arms up. Make sure hips are facing forward. Okay, warrior one. With warrior one, It's a lunge. It's a lunge with a flat back, you know, what it is. It's a lunge. You can go deep as long as your knee does not go past your toes. With Warrior One, I really try, even Warrior Two. So here's your knee. I like to bring it out towards the pinky toe, and you want to be able to see your big toe. So that gives you a visual. So, you know, Warrior One, you know, people just shoot up. They, you know, pay attention to your form. It's really going to make you feel the toes more. You're not going to hurt your back. You won't hurt your knee. So, woo, you lose your balance. It's all good. All right, so here we are. Hips are forward, and your knee is going to come out towards the pinky toe. Arms come up. Try to have your ears between your biceps and really try to like point your fingers towards the sky. You want this to be an active pose. So here we are, Warrior One. Now we're going to come down. So you can use your blocks. Bring your blocks on either side of your foot for standing split. Okay, so you're going to come up. This sort of brings the floor to you. So that way, if you're having a hard time reaching the floor, this helps. All right, so we're in standing split. Now, for standing split, your blocks can be up like that. They can be tall. Whatever your mobility is for that day. Sometimes you're more tight than others. Maybe you had a really long run the day before. I'm a long distance runner myself, and I'm trying to get back into it. Hamstrings, your feet, your hips, tight. So yoga is fabulous for getting you through that tightness and all the soreness. But if you're tight, it's hard to get into poses. So slower is better. You know, if you really want to go in for a sweat, you know, then a lot of people do, you know, go real fast. Go as fast as you can. I mean, like, go where you're comfortable. But to me, if you're not feeling it that day to go through a power yoga class, go at your own pace. There's only one you in class. So here we are. So we're in our forward fold, or we're in our standing split. I have the blocks high, or they can be low. Okay? And you can use your arms as leverage to try to get your, you know, your nose to your knee. Okay? All right, from here, we're going to, with control, look at my blocks here, we're going to go through a wide stance. And I would point your toes out. Makes it a little easier. So I'll show you from here. Wide toes, coming down. If you're here, can't go any further, no problem. If you can come down and actually get your knees, or get your elbows between your knees, that's great, because then you can use them to sort of, you have some security. Your knees are like pushing into your elbows, and your elbows are pushing into your knee. See, both my feet are flat. And you want to try to effort to keep yourself straight up. Okay? So, if you need a block to support you, I'm sitting. I'm still feeling it in my hips, but I don't feel like I'm going to fall. So, here we are. This would be the modification. Okay, so from here, we're going to do crow. Okay. Use a block. For when you're trying to practice for crow, it can be very intimidating. It's one of those poses that you could certainly do a face plant on. In fact, I've done many. Never damaged all this. But you do have to be careful, because you're just in a very precarious position. And, you know, as with anything, try to be careful. Okay, so I'm in my yoga squat. I'm going to move back so you can see me. Yoga squat. You're going to come forward. So you want to put your hands down first, nice and wide, okay? And you want to try to get your knees to your triceps. So above your elbows. Now, what you want to do, and I learned this, I went to a yoga training and I was like, oh, I get it. You kind of want to squeeze your knees into your triceps, and you're sort of squeezing your knees and pushing with your triceps. So you're like in, and that really does give you a good stable base to work with. Okay, so word about a face plant. Get a nice soft, so you can maybe do forehead down, but you want to do it in a controlled manner. Okay, so I'm here. I usually readjust my feet because I like more of a narrow base. I come up, one toe at a time. You can also use a block for a toe landing spot. Okay, so you could do one toe, one toe. Here I am. I'm in the air. And you can always readjust. And what you want to do, you never want to look straight down. You want to look out, because that's going to give you a pivot point. So like if I'm looking down, I'm going to do a face plant for the most part. So you want to look out. All right, that is the biggest trick for a crow. So I'm on my block and I'm looking out. And there you go, there's your crow. So you can always use this. I'm going to turn sideways so you see it. All right, so I got my two blocks. I'm going to use the pink block for my feet. And I'm going to show you how you can like go into hi, Valeria. You're going to have, this can be your head landing spot, like where your forehead is. So that way, because nobody wants to fall, especially not face first. I can understand that. So here we are. We go from yoga squat, and now we're going to hands down. I come up. See how my butt's up? My toes come in. You can actually bring that block in so you can put your feet on it. My knees are up on my triceps, so above the elbow. I'm pushing in with my knees and pushing out with my elbows. Lean forward. Now see, I'm looking right down. You got to look out. So not down, out. Okay? In fact, I might just put my headpiece there. All right. Lifting one toe. And then another. You want to bring your head down. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm certainly not falling. I don't have a lot of pressure. A lot of the pressure is on my arms, but I have my head down. So this is sort of giving you an idea of how you can modify this, and you can practice crow. See, I'm talking to you nice and comfortable. So, and then you just, try to come back. And then we come up. So I like soft blocks. They have wood blocks, they have cork blocks. They're great. They're a little hard. Now, if you have like a harder type block, wrap it maybe with a towel, make it a little softer. I don't know if I'd do a pillow, because I actually suggested that one time and they're like, nah, because it really can kink your neck. So I love these $5, like not dollar store, but 5 and up or 5 and below, giving them a plug. They're soft. They're nice and squishy. So they always, you can put your head on it and it's nice and soft. So that's what I would do. All right, so I'm going to show you the flow one more time, and then I'll let you go now that I'm running 20 minutes. Sorry. All right, we'll go through it one more time. Hands come up, overhead. We're going to swan dive down, nice and graceful. Forward fold, coming up, Flat back, looking out. Bend your knees, hands come down. Come back. Come back into a plank. Try to hold in your stomach. You're going to push forward so that you're over your wrists. You're going to come down, Shavasana. Come up, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Come back to downward facing dog. You can lift right leg, coming through, flatten the back foot, come up, readjust your hips, warrior one. Hands come down, frame that foot. You're going to kick that back leg up, standing split. Then bend your right knee. Give yourself some leverage. Land the left foot nice and wide. Turn the toes out. Yogi squat or malasana. Hands come down. Set yourself up. Crow. And then if you can, try to play with, I can't do it yet. Kicking back into plank. Knees come down this time. We're doing chaturanga. This time we're going to do a cobra. Tuck your toes. Come back into downward dog. I'll do the left side. Left side comes up. Kick it through. Flatten the back foot. Coming up. Readjust your hips. Warrior one. Coming down, frame the foot, standing split. Wide legs, I'm going to come back. Malasana, practice, crow. I like narrow toes. Here we go, crow. Coming back, here we go, plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold, reverse swan dive. Up, hands come to heart center. That's it. That's all I got. I am sweating, so this is definitely a flow that will warm you up. I've enjoyed my time with you guys, and I hope you like what I bring to the table with yoga. And Valeria, it's just been my pleasure. I hope I get to work with you still, and I'm looking forward to my February box of yoga. See, I got my box here. And I love it. So I will let you go. Be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Can't really love others if you don't love yourself. So love yourself first, and then you can love everyone else. Have a beautiful day. Have an awesome weekend. And if you're where I am, anywhere near the East Coast, it's freezing, so be safe. Be safe. Don't go outside too long. All right, take care of yourselves. Mwah, mwah. I'm Camille Jacominich from Ezential Yoga, signing out. Bye.